From Central Indiana's number one news source, this is Fox 59 Tonight.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us here on Fox 59 Tonight. I'm Cameron Riddle. Thanks for downloading our new Fox 59 Now smart TV app. You can find it, if you don't have it, on your Apple, Roku, or Fire TV. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you never miss any of the conversations that we have right here on Fox 59 Tonight. It is a holiday, a federal holiday. Juneteenth is something that a lot of people have celebrated for a long time, and it's something that really, on the past couple of years, that other people have heard about when it became a federal holiday. So there are government offices that are open today, others that are closed today. We'll explain to you why that is, but nevertheless, there's a celebration happening that will last for the next several days, because that's what happened when the news traveled across the country that African Americans, Black people, were free. The news slowly trickled across the country. And so this week, over the next couple of days, we celebrate that announcement, and you can do so in a number of different places across Indianapolis over the next several days. Somebody who's been working very hard to plan it all is on our live line right now. James Webb, how you doing? You're a very busy man today.
I'm doing okay. It's a good kind of busy, so I'm all right.
Well, you have taken on something that has really blown up. I've lived in Indianapolis since I was in third grade, and I'm from Northwest Indiana, so I've heard of Juneteenth, but I don't remember growing up there being Juneteenth celebrations in Indianapolis, let alone people knowing what Juneteenth is. So am I making that up, or did I just not realize that people were celebrating and we didn't know?
Well, the Children's Museum always had a celebration, and I think their celebration went back almost 30 years. And there were small celebrations, but we're Indy Juneteenth Incorporated is the oldest and longest lasting and largest Juneteenth celebration that's Black owned and operated in the state of Indiana.
So how did this come to be? How did we go from just having Children's Museum to now this several days? I mean, you've got things on Thursday, Friday, Saturday through the weekend. You got your whole, you got your whole celebration going.
Well, yeah. Well, we started back in 2016, and we started back in our backyard, and then we kind of moved over to Brookside Park and Riverside Park. So what we wanted to do is we didn't want to just have a celebration or like a picnic or something like that. We wanted to, if Juneteenth is about freedom at its core, then we wanted to create other avenues or platforms where we can, strive for freedom from to teach financial literacy, freedom to teach about education and different career paths for the youth, and scholarships and all types of other things and education around Juneteenth. So that kind of led to how the celebration kind of grew from Indy Juneteenth's perspective. So that's why we have now the Miss Indy Juneteenth Scholarship Pageant. We have our health initiatives with our amateur boxing and amateur track and field programs, and so many other things that we do.
So I explained just a little bit of, like in a sentence, of Juneteenth. What is Juneteenth? Why are we celebrating?
Okay, so in 1862, at December 31st, a tradition in Black culture was created. If you are from the Black American community or been around, you've heard of Watch Night. And on New Year's Eve, many churches celebrate Watch Night for New Year's Eve, through prayer and through song. They bring in the new year. That was created back in 1862 when our ancestors were actually praying for the Emancipation Proclamation to be signed. And that is actually the first time Juneteenth was ever celebrated. The holiday was actually celebrated on January 1st. But then later on, after it was signed, the policies that are inside of the Emancipation Proclamation weren't being enforced. So contrary to popular belief, our ancestors did know that they were free, but there was no one there to enforce it. So General Gordon Granger, along with the U.S. colored troops in 1865, on June 19th, they marched on the capital of the Confederacy, and they began to implement General's Order Number 3, which pretty much stated that all people have the right to be free, and that push created a march throughout the remainder of the country from Texas all the way to Kentucky in August. So Many people celebrate on June 19th. In Kentucky, they celebrate on August 8th. And then that's why we're here today. We're celebrating the enforcing of everyone having their God-given right of freedom.
So today, now in Indiana, like what happened in the past couple of years? Because I mean, like you said, you guys started your thing in the past couple of years. What happened
Mhm.
that everything kind of took off really across the country?
Well, in 2016, we started, and we used to have to almost tell people how to say it, and they thought we were making it up.
Hmm.
Because, even though Children's Museum was doing their thing, there was still a large population of people that have never heard of Juneteenth at all. So when COVID came, and around that time, we went virtual, and then it also later on will become a federal holiday, and that's when everyone began to say, "Oh, okay, this is something for real." And then other people began to have Juneteenth events, and more churches came out and have Juneteenth events. And I think when it became a federal holiday, it became a big deal to so many people.
So now you guys have turned into something that almost feels. Um, I mean, your Expo weekend big. If you know anything about Indianapolis people, Expo weekend's a big weekend in Indy, and this now feels like like it is just as big. So congratulations on that. Um, Tell us what you have going on. You've got stuff happening today because today is June 19th. And by the
Yeah.
way, why is it today? Why is it the 10th?
Okay. Well, it's today because 19th and in June, and you put it together with the African American vernacular that our ancestors spoke on June 19th. They brought it together, and that's where Juneteenth came from. But what we have going on, well, what we've already done, we've crowned the few next Miss Juneteenths of the state of Indiana. They'll go on to represent all of us in the state of Indiana at the National Miss Juneteenth USA competition in Galveston, Texas, and to hopefully become the next Miss Juneteenth of the United States. We've had our amateur boxing program. We've had our college and career conference with the help of Old National Bank, the Lumina Foundation, and Republic Airways, and Bold Force. We've had and so now today we're having our large fireworks show. So our goal every year is to put on the state of Indiana's fireworks show on Juneteenth. This allows us to go out and celebrate and support the other organizations that are having Juneteenth events on Juneteenth. And then on June 21st, always the Saturday closest to June 19th, we'll be having our 8th annual Indy Juneteenth celebration at the Indiana State Fairgrounds. We'll be taking over the whole South Lot, and we'll have performances from so many local artists. We'll have large kids zone that'll be sponsored by Boondocks and More, and the Children's Museum, which is one of our partners that'll be joining us there. There'll be wall climbing, activations, and carnival rides. There'll be over 30 food trucks, different cuisines from all different cultures. There will be over 150 vendors from small businesses to nonprofit organizations in the health and wellness area. There'll be a VIP section sponsored by Think Distributing and Budweiser. So we'll be having a pretty good time first Saturday at the fairgrounds. We'll be having a real good time. So hopefully everyone comes.
So I know last year or the year before there was a parade that was starting to get pretty big.
Oh
What
yeah,
what's the deal with the parade? Is the parade coming back?
yeah. 2026 parade will be back. We're already in talks with a couple of options that we have available to us. The city came out in support to. Oh, am I stuck there?
No, you're here.
Okay, the
I
city
still
came out. Okay, the city came out once we had to announce that it was had to get canceled. The city came out and showed us a lot of love and support to get that ball rolling for next year. The issue with the parade was more so a conflict in scheduling and logistics, and by the time we were made aware of that conflict, it was kind of already very late in the game. And what we didn't want to do for safety, we didn't want to just throw a parade together and it might be a safety concern. IMPD had their concern. So it was just a good idea for us to say, hey, let's just we'll pause it for this year. We'll bring it back next year and make it bigger and better.
So the what seems like good news to me is that you guys have outgrown your former space and are now at the Indiana State Fairgrounds, where, like you said, you got the whole South Side. That's a good thing, right?
That's a beautiful thing. It's a great, and partnership with the Indiana State Fairgrounds. They've been great to work with. But we love Military Park, and they reached back out and said if we ever wanted to come back to Military Park, we'd be more than welcome to. We appreciate the partnership and relationship we have with Live Nation, and so we would love to try to make it all best, but most importantly, make it educational and safe as possible for everybody.
So, the things that are going on this weekend,
Mm-hmm.
what does it cost to get in?
It's a free event. You don't
Mm-hmm.
have to pay for the parking.
It's a
I
trick
think
question.
parking. Yeah, that's the trick question, right? But no, it's a free event. It's at the Indiana State Fairgrounds, and they typically charge $5 to $10 for parking. Other than that, it's everything else you'll experience will be free. Obviously, you have to pay for your food, beverages, things like that, but it's a free event. There's no ticket to get into any event.
So,
Yeah.
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, our boxing and our pageant, those are our only ticketed events. Other than that, everything is free.
So tell me, that's what I wanted to ask about. So you've got the pageant,
Mm-hmm.
and you have the boxing event. Tell me about those, because those two have blown up pretty good.
Yeah, so just last Saturday, we were at the Speedway Event Center, and they were gracious hosts, and we had an amazing turnout, one of our largest turnouts for our amateur boxing program. We had boxers from all over the Midwest. They came out from Ohio, from Kentucky, from Michigan, Chicago, and then our boys from here in Indiana, they represented pretty good and had a good time. We were able to honor Indiana's only heavyweight champion of the world, Layman Brewster, and we presented him with his own unique belt. And moving forward, our Juneteenth boxing showcase will now be the Layman Brewster Juneteenth boxing tournament. So we're proud of that. So that's blowing up as we always want to give the champ, his due diligence,
Mm-hmm.
And then the pageant has gotten very large because the thing is, when COVID came, we didn't. It was a blessing in disguise. So we had a virtual festival, and then that's when we found out about Brooklyn Juneteenth and New Jersey Juneteenth and Milwaukee Juneteenth and the National Juneteenth Observance Foundation. And that's when we were connected nationally with all of these people. And that's when Indiana Juneteenth joined the National Juneteenth Observance Foundation. And we were able to then connect our pageant nationally. So that allows our contestants to go on and compete and represent the state of Indiana. L'Oreal Obioha, Zylan Lester, and Amina King are our three new queens for the state of Indiana's Miss Juneteenth, and we're very proud of all three of those young ladies. We had an event with the Indiana Fever, and they were able to bring them out to half court and give them their support, and it was awesome.
So how old do you have to be to get into the pageant?
Okay, so there's three different categories. There's adult, there's a teen, and there's a youth. And my wife coordinator and the national director for the state of Indiana for the Miss Juneteenth pageant. She would know more about this, but I believe the youngest is 8, and the oldest for the youth category, I believe is 8 to 12, and then 13 to 17, and then the adult category is 18 to as old as 55. So we've had contestants in their 40s, 50s, all the way down to 8 years old competing in all categories.
So really, the time, if you're thinking about you want to do it next year, probably need to start finding out about it now, right?
Of course, of course. In August, we get back started with everything. So in the fall, they begin to have their applications. Registrations will be open in the fall for the next Miss Indy Juneteenth. We like to call it a therapeutic approach to pageantry. And it's
Okay.
a 6 month journey that all of these young ladies go on through self-revelation, through mental health awareness, and so many other things. And instead of having like a swimsuit pageant, they have a creative scene where they're able to design and the entire stage and create an outfit that describes their own personal self journeys to make them the women that they are today. And it's something very impactful that we are very proud to be. We originated that concept in pageants, and it's a very beautiful program. So I would strongly encourage any woman, a young lady, if they've never been to the Miss Indy Juneteenth pageant, to come on out.
So we need to have your wife on here after we get done celebrating.
There we go, most definitely.
Okay. Okay. So not only are those opportunities people get involved, you're going to have a lot of vendors who are out
Oh,
there participating over the weekend, right?
oh, of course, of course.
So first, who's going to be there? What can we have? Because one, I'm trying to eat, but then also, how can people? I know people were like, "Hey, I want to get my truck over there for next year."
Right, right, right. Well, when we open up vendor registration on New Year's,
Okay.
so a lot of our spots are already full, and we've been getting calls as even yesterday for people to try to be food vendors, and we've got to submit this stuff 30 days in advance to the state so the health department can give us proper approvals. But we'll have we've got food vendors from all over the state of Indiana that will be here. So we've got Remy's Soul Kitchen. We've got God's Cookie Creation. We've got so many other places. We've got Bay Area Bistro, which is a Philippine a food truck. We've got all sorts of Latin cuisine. We got so many cuisines from all different cultures, but we also have different sweets and treats. And it is Juneteenth, so we have several red velvet cake, dessert trucks, and CJ Sweets, and so many other people that are coming out. It's going to be a real good time.
And that's the part that people don't realize when you're putting on an event this big, how far out you have to plan. So that's why I'm saying,
Right,
if you want
right.
to be a part of next year, you really need to start making those connections and plans now.
Correct, correct, correct. And then the vendors that are there now, they'll get a discounted rate because they've been with us for so long. And so we've got Cajun. There'll be alligator bites and
Ooh,
gumbo. There'll be all sorts of, like, I'm just trying to
who has that? Just so I can make my plans.
it's a Cajun barbecue. Dr. Clarence Davis, he's coming down from Franklin County, and he'll have all of your New Orleans cuisine, as they call it. So it'll be Black culture in all its different shapes and forms and cultures will be represented. So as
Man,
far as cuisine is concerned,
man, I need some alligator bites. I
you
need
know what
it.
I mean?
I need it. Before I let you go, because I'm almost out of time here. Um,
Mhm.
you also need sponsors and
Yes,
folks to
sir.
donate, because if you're putting on a free event, again, that's another thing people don't realize. You're putting on a free event that is not
Come
free to
on,
put on.
come on, man, come on. You preaching now. You
I
preaching.
know.
Yeah, we are a sponsor, heavily sponsored and and small funding donated funded or 501c3 nonprofit organization. We don't have government contracts. We don't have state city funding like that. We get all 100% of our funding comes from donations from individuals and from our beautiful sponsors such as Old National Bank, Honda, Pacer Sports and Entertainment, First Merchants Bank, Indiana Donor Network, Public Airways, Citizens Energy, and a few others. The Minority Health Coalition. It's just it's it, it it's a struggle to maintain sponsors, because
Hmm.
you want to make them so happy, and
Hmm.
then there's so many other events going on, and they can only do so much. You know what I mean? So, but we're very appreciative of every dollar that we receive. But we do need sponsors as always because we do operate year round. Like we
Hmm.
don't just pop in June and then we pop out. We have our food insecurity initiatives that we do where we feed over 500 families throughout the year. We have our toy drives coming up. We have boxing programs and boxing shows that are quarterly, one every quarter. And then we also we have to raise money to send the Miss Indy Juneteenth to Galveston, Texas
Mm.
for the National Miss Juneteenth USA competition. So we'll be working on that as well.
Well, and I know those pageants because I've had friends who've been in it. And I used to
Come on.
MC lots of pageants. I did Miss Ball State and a couple others.
Okay.
I kind of got into that. Nevertheless, my point is I know that stuff can be expensive, and so
Yeah.
you're helping to cover some of that. It sounds like.
Yes, yes, yes. We're looking to help do that.
Okay. So all those other things that you mentioned that you guys do year round, from the toy drive to the food giveaway, when do those happen? And where can people find out more information about that if they want to help?
Awesome. So they can always go to our website at indyjuneteenth.org, or they can follow us on Instagram and Facebook, Indy Juneteenth. And those begin to happen in October. So we take July off. August, we begin planning for everything else that'll be happening for the next calendar year. And then October, we begin our clothing drive. November, we begin our food drive. In December, we begin our toy drive, continuing the food drive, and so many other things that we do to give back to the community.
James, I appreciate everything that you do. I appreciate the time that you took, because I know you got a lot of things happening today. What starts tonight before you go? Because it's Thursday and it's jumping today.
Oh, yeah. So tonight, 6 p.m., Avon, Indiana, because we're a state organization. So we're all over central Indiana, too. So we'll be in Avon, Indiana, 6 p.m. at Sarkeen Park. That will be the Indy Juneteenth fireworks show. We will be blowing up the sky. It's a beautiful event. You got to get there early, because last year the road was gridlocked and people couldn't get in and we ran out of space. So come on out to Sarkeen Park, straight down 21st Street. You won't miss it. You'll see the cars lining up. And come on out. That's what's happening in the evening.
And I take it, do the fireworks start once it gets dark, or what time?
It's gonna start once it get dark. So about 9:45-ish, 9:50-ish. I think that's about what time I saw it get kind of dark yesterday. So around that time, we're gonna put on a 25-minute fireworks show. It's gonna be Walt Disney-ish. I don't know if I can say that out loud, but for branding purposes, but it's gonna be real nice.
Well, James, I do have to tell you, I was talking to somebody about, I said, there's the fireworks they were saying over in Avon, and was like, in Avon? They letting us out there in Avon?
Yeah, this will be the second year we did it, and we used to do it in Indianapolis, and the location where we had it, the gentleman I had the relationship with, he sold the spot and he moved. So when we tried to find a new location, there's an ordinance in the city where you can't light off fireworks like that until closer to the 4th of July, so they can be prepared for it safety wise. So I have a great relationship with Jim Sarkeen and Sarkeen Park, and we said, well, let's give it a try, and we did it last year, and they packed the place out.
Okay, so that's tonight. What's the address? You said straight down 21st Street.
Straight down 21st Street. Give me a second, because I can give you the actual address. Give me just a second.
Okay.
The address is 6575 East County Road, 200 North, Avon, Indiana, 46213.
And I'm going to pull that up on the map here so everybody can see exactly what we're talking about, so you can get out there. And this event, too, is free, right?
This event is free, yeah.
This is free. So here we go. So Avon, so like you said, take 21st Street straight down, and then as soon as you cross Avon Avenue, boom, it'll be on your left.
You'll start, trust me, it'll be cars all the way out there trying to get in. You'll see it. We're going to pack the place out. We're going to have a good time.
All right, James, I appreciate you, man. Good luck. I know you got several days of stuff going on, so I hope you got you some rest, having you some water. It's going to be hot this weekend. So
yeah,
everybody, make sure you dress lightly, bring something to drink, and go have a good time. And we celebrate Juneteenth holiday and all of our accomplishments.
Appreciate it. And let everyone know that it'll be at the fairgrounds this Saturday in the South Lot, and it's an outdoor event. So it's going to still be outside. So bring your lawn chairs, bring your umbrellas to block the sun, and come on out and have a good time.
Outdoor event at the fairgrounds, free to get in, pay to park. Is there a certain side that you need to come in on the fairgrounds?
Well, they'll direct you in. It's all on the South Lot, and the parking is immediately next to where you're at. So you won't have to walk at all.
Okay. All right, James, I'm going to let you go. I know you got a busy day ahead of you. I appreciate you, sir. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you so much.
All right, more of Fox 59 tonight is coming up after this.